Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the Aussie today? So Tencent had a 5% rally yesterday, but Nasdaq had a 9% rally yesterday. We dropped like 20% for the month, and then all of a sudden it's a 9% reversal at the end of the month. So nicely manipulated. Anyway, it just makes it very difficult for us small little day traders to trade this instrument successfully. You've either got to keep your position size very, very small, or make sure that you've taken you've got a clean set of underwear on every day, and you can anticipate big swings in your account. So, not my favorite instrument to trade at the moment. It's extremely volatile. I mean, we're up 3% yesterday. And that was basically, if we measure that out, we had a 1,600 point swing. Okay. Anyway, let's not dwell too much on it. I think let's just watch the price action that we have on offer. And I'm just going to line up where we closed, because you see these tails here, and you've got a couple of opening days here and a closing day as well. So there's quite a bit happening at this level. And we also just bounced off the moving average. So ideally, I want to see us get above the high of yesterday. Okay, so let's just get down to, let's start with the 4 hour. Because you'll see that the 4 hour, we've got this consolidation. We broke this fractional level, which was this area here. Okay, which is fairly significant in its own. And problem is we've created, well, that's not quite a fractal yet, but there is potential that we're creating another fractal here. So obviously I need a third bar, and it's taking this close as the bar, and that's not a bar. This is the actual close. So yeah, so I'm looking, if this does turn out to be a fractal, then you're looking for a pullback. And you've got to be wary that it has left a daily gap here. It could be a breakaway gap. And it could also be a case of coming back to test the break, which would also bring the gap into play, which would become a magnet. So let's have a look at the 1 hour. Okay, so we had a pretty strong breakup, and then we kind of just went sideways for the rest of the day. If you look at these oscillators, they're all indicating overbought. So yeah, I am reluctant to hold along there. It's not filling me with much joy, if I can put it that way. We do have this potential head and shoulders that I pointed out yesterday, which is a break and been a retest. So there is potential that this does move to the upside. But I think what you need to do is focus on these two fractional levels. Okay, so to the downside, you're looking at 45,885, and to the upside, you're looking at 46,564. Okay, so break either side is going to give you direction. It has given us a higher high, so you can see that was the previous high. It was a double top high and given us a high. So this head and shoulders is very much in play. And from a technical point of view, let's put that target in, and then we'll just have a look on the higher time frame to see what lines up. But from a technical point of view, your stop should be below this level here. So your stop should be around 44,760 or 790, and you should be looking for 47,767. Okay, that stop's too far for my liking, and even below this consolidation phase here, that's also a 600 point stop. So that's also a bit too much for my liking. So not something that I like trading. Anyway, guys, that's kind of the view on that I see here. Let's just have a quick look at the ichimoku. So from the daily perspective, I actually think we need to start on the weekly with this thing, because it is turning out to be a fairly bullish pattern here on the weekly. inside bar with diversions. See the diversions here? With an inside bar and deviation from Kijinson and Tikinson forming. So there is warning bells that there is a turn coming. But with a strong move like this, what I would expect is a bit of a rally and a pullback to form some form of a double bottom, and then a rally, a pullback, a nice deep pullback, and that would be my entry. Okay, so that's kind of the way I look at it. If we look at this on the daily, nothing really changed. We're still in a downtrend. Everything is indicating trend is still down, and this indicator here, we're getting diversions here as well. So yeah, I would expect a pullback to happen. Okay, just having a look at the 4 hour, we haven't broken through the cloud. Okay, we've got a rejection bar here, we've got a flat Kijinson and Tikinson, and we have a flat top here, whereas price made a new high. So that is reversal diversions. We've got continuation diversions on the daily, and continuations to the downside, and this is reversal in the 4 hour. So this is looking like we're going to get some consolidation, either consolidation, or we're going to start with a retracement. Now, how deep that retracement is what we need to worry ourselves about. Okay, so on the 1 hour, you can see we have broken through the cloud. We are using the 200 moving average as resistance. So I would expect us to come back and test this break as the bare minimum. So, you want to be paying attention to this area here, and then you need to keep in the back of your mind that you have a daily gap at the bottom as well. So it could pull back, could bounce off the cloud here, or pull all the way down, come and find the bottom here, and then move to the upside. So yeah, so it's kind of a mixed bag for me on the Aussie. Not something I think I'm going to trade today. And tomorrow is non-farm payroll as well, so I expect more volatility here. Anything could happen. I think if you have time to sit and watch this today, just watch those two fractal levels, but do yourself a favor and run it off the 15 or 12 minute chart. That's going to give you much better entries, and you'll also see when we drop below the cloud on the 12 minutes or the 15 minutes, and then you'll know that you've got more downside coming, targeting this gap. Okay, so for now, I think, and there is another head and shoulders for me here. So here's a shoulder, here's a head, and here's another potential shoulder. Okay, at this stage, 10 cents up 4%. Okay, but that's based on the NASDAQ of results yesterday. Rand dollar, 14.72, so that's climbing a little bit. But yeah, so I think watch this with a very keen eye, because anything can happen at the moment. So if this is going to rally, it's going to set up this 4 hour break through the cloud, which will be fairly significant. But I do suspect a bit of a sideways motion or a bit of a pullback before we start rallying. Okay, so yeah, that's it for me. Just last thing, just look at is the monthly, and we close with a strong bearish candle on the month. Other buyers that come in off the cloud, but still, this was a strong 2 month down move. So the question is, where to next? Okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'm not trading this one today, but if you are, watch it carefully, and use a moving average, use Bill Williams, or use the Ichimoku on low time frames to stay with the trend, if there is a trend forming. Okay, anyway, guys, enjoy your day. I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.